Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Scott Buttram with the Trussville Tribune. Brannon is eating sushi in Japan, but I have a special co-host with me today. He's not as good looking as Brannon, so don't get excited, but we'll be right back to talk about several updates in the city of Trussville. And I forgot to say Tribune Unscripted starts now because Brandon wasn't here to take care of that.
Everybody needs Brandon.
We're looking for a job for this guy. He's going to be out of work here before we know it, just a few more
33
weeks.
days, but who's counting?
You know, after 9 years. So this was, I thought, a good time to introduce our new show that'll be starting in a couple of months. Buddy and Scott Critique Ben. That'll be a daily. That'll be a daily show.
We'll have to stand in line for that, Scott.
That's it. Well, I do appreciate you joining us today.
Sure.
And, the timing was good on this. Brannon is on vacation with her husband, so I needed some help, and we actually recorded an interview about a week and a half ago now.
Yeah, it has been almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, with the outgoing council, so to speak. You as leaving the mayor's office after 9 years, and Alan Taylor, who'd been on council 13 years, and Perry Cook, who's been on council for 13 years. A lot of stuff happened in those 13 years. You were on council then too.
I was.
But we really focused on these last 9 years, and the three of you who started all this mess and then stuck with it, and you're leaving us with such a better place than we found.
Well, I hope so, Scott. It was great to do the interview with you. It was fun to kind of sit around and talk about that, especially with Perry and Allen, who've been just great council members for the city and helped me and the rest of the council. But, you know, those guys serving the terms that they did, 13 years. My total was 17 years because I was on the council one term before they got there. But that whole time, we have built a great bond together, great friends of mine, but also great council people.
Right.
And put nothing ahead of what's best for Trussville.
And, you know, we didn't really get into this in the interview, but the three of you didn't agree on every single issue for the last 9 years.
No.
And the four of us, as the newspaper publisher who's always got an opinion, we didn't agree on every issue over the last 9 years. But we all wanted to see the same results, and the fact that the three of you wanted the same results has been a huge benefit for the people of Trussville.
Well, the benefit has been that we all wanted to do what is best.
That's right.
And every decision that has been made and will be made, I hope in the future, may not be what I want or what you want, but it's what's best for the city of Trussville. And all the council people that I have had the opportunity to work with have felt that way about Trussville. And that's why I think that we're in the shape that we're in now, that we're headed in a great direction. We've had some great outside council people, just citizens, offer suggestions that have helped us, and I really appreciate that too.
Well, it has been interesting. I love the interview. We're going to play a short clip. Ron's got, I think it's actually a view, but we'll play this clip for our audience. And again, we remind you, the full interview is already up at TrussvilleTribune.com. It posted this morning, but here's a short clip.
I question, you know, are people in Trussville really happy with what we've done? In this last election, to me, I mean, I was proud. 74% of the people in Trussville said, I like what you've done, and I want us to keep doing what we're doing. And so, you know, that's not that we're looking for validation, but I mean, that made me proud that we.
Clearly, the majority feels pretty good about it, and I think the majority would say, all three of you have done an amazing job. You've been an amazing mayor, but I am curious. As you're stepping away and you're looking across at all the things, guys, this is kind of miraculous. Honestly, I'm underplaying it. What we did here, what y'all did in this city is miraculous. How did it feel to hear all the negativity from some folks? And we need to keep that in perspective.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think much of it at first. I knew there'd be detractors coming against Ben and Lisa who were running. That's kind of the nature of politics. I hated to see it go down a negative trail, you know, on the city and things we should or should not have done. But really towards the end of it, I I was more affected by a perception outside of Trussville too, because we all have a lot of friends. A lot of the mayors are personal friends of mine. That the perception outside of Trussville might be, that's not what I knew. Is this true? But at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, several of us said our voters are smart enough to know we got a pretty good thing here, and it showed at the polls.
Yeah, you reached the point you had no choice but to trust a vote. Well, that was one of the topics we discussed, was the election, because the three of you were not running again. You were all kind of sitting out and watching, and you kind of became targets a little bit during the election, at least by one campaign and by a few people in town. So it probably bothered me more than it bothered the three of you, but it bothered me immensely to see three people disparaged that had done something, in my opinion, you just don't see happen very often, which is build a downtown from nothing.
It was, Scott, in the realm of reality is politics.
Right.
And I get that. And so the folks that were running, of course, Ben and Lisa have been connected for 5 years and beyond that in the city. And I know you have to have something to run on. If negativity is the right way to do it, I don't know. But as we said in the interview, I think at the end of the day, 3/4 of the population of Trussville that voted felt like we were in a pretty good position. So it was hard sometimes. It got a little personal down the stretch. I'm sure our wives took it a lot harder than we did. I know one that did. But it was, you put reality out there at the end of the day. When the results come in, then you feel much better about it. And so the process, as someone would say in Tuscaloosa, the process worked.
Right. And that's, we addressed three key areas in the interview that I think our readers are going to, especially people who have moved to Trussville in the last 9 years.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'll find this very interesting, because the town you see today did not exist 9 years ago. And if you just moved to Town 5, you may not realize that. You may take some of these things for granted. But the three areas that I really wanted the three of you to focus on was the creation of downtown, because it did not exist when you took office.
Correct.
And now it's the envy of a lot of towns in Alabama, because they keep sending delegations and asking, how did you do this?
Yeah.
The Greenway, which, as I mentioned in the video, we had fourth graders that had never stepped foot in the Greenway that had lived in Trussville all their lives, because they'd been behind a chain link fence for a decade.
Yeah.
So that accomplishment. And then I did feel like the three of you, who were very much targeted during the election, deserved an opportunity to have your say on the way out. So I think our readers are going to enjoy the interview.
I hope so. We enjoyed doing it. When it was all over, we even talked about how good that felt, just to have an opportunity to sit together. We've sat together for many years up on the desk
That's
up there. But just to sit around a round table discussion like that, we could have gone on a lot longer than we did. It went probably a little longer than we should. But there was a lot to talk about, Scott. And Alan and Perry were great. You were great, kind of heading that thing up. At the end of the day, I think it's will be very pleasing to our citizens.
It went almost an hour.
Yeah,
and I felt like we were there about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It could have gone longer.
Yeah, there was really a lot to talk about, but and had we not stayed focused on those three key areas that I'd already kind of pinpointed, I don't know, it may have turned into a video series.
Part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but I thought it was fantastic. I really think our readers will enjoy it, and they'll have a good time, especially, again, the ones, if you moved here 5 years ago, there's so much you don't know about this community, and understanding why the things that drew you here are here, kind of cool.
Well, it is, and I've had an opportunity, we all have, over these last 9 years in particular, to meet a lot of people that are here now. And this leadership Trussville class that we started, we're in our 4th class now. This last class, I think I knew 8 people out of the 30 that were chosen. So to me, that's encouraging to know that we have a lot of young, new, and experienced people moving to Trussville for the same reasons that we want to be here. We think it's a great city, a great place to raise your family. Obviously, we're biased to the school system being the best there is. So we got a lot of great things going on, and I think people see that.
I think they do, and we kind of ended the video with this thought. I didn't really think about a lot of things until after we left there. One of the things that hit me during the video was that it was yourself, Alan Taylor, myself, and Kobe Lake.
Yeah.
The three of us were there when we walked Kobe down that street of empty warehouses 9 years ago. And that didn't hit me till we were halfway through the video. I'm like, we were literally here. The three of us, were there for that meeting. And that was one thing. The other thing was, ultimately, and now I'm referring to the election, we had no choice but to trust the voters of Trussville.
That's right.
And that's who really came through in that thing.
They did. And that was what, I guess, the most satisfying thing for me personally, and I think Alan and Perry probably shared the same thing, is to see that kind of response and that kind of reinforcement.
Right.
We're not perfect. Hey, listen, we're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes every day probably, but at the end of the day, when that many people felt like Trussville was in the right direction, that was so comforting, if nothing else, to know that a lot of hard work, and there was a lot of hard work,
right.
a lot of hard work, a lot of decision making had to be made. At the end of the day, majority of the people like what we have done.
It did, and I know you got some of the same feedback I got, just talking to voters in general. There's no doubt in my mind that every single Ben Short voter, had Ben not been in the race, would have been a Lisa Bright voter. And every single Lisa Bright voter, had Lisa not been in the race, would have been a Ben Short voter. So it really, I think when you take it in whole, it really was a mandate for Ben and this new council going forward to continue what we've seen.
And absolutely. And I think the new council moving forward, we've got a great new council coming in. I'm excited for them. I feel good about the direction. Ben is going to be a great leader for the city. He's knowledgeable. He knows the city. Are there going to be changes? Sure, I hope so.
Absolutely.
There always have to be changes. I don't take it personal. There's probably things I would change if I went back in there again.
You hit that pretty hard in the video.
I did
as well.
and so I think Ben and his council will continue to find ways to make us even better than we are today.
I agree. I see some great young leadership coming on board, and I'm excited about the future of the city.
Me too.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, let me see what our timeline is looking like. We're kind of where we need to be, but at about 12:20, we're going to be joined by Jeff Poor. Many of you know Jeff. His column just started running in the Trussville Tribune last week. We're excited to have that. We'll have Jeff's column every week. Jeff has a statewide radio show, the Jeff Poor Show. You've heard the Tribune reporting a lot on the situation with the AHSAA and with the Alabama legislature. You know that Representative Danny Garrett here in Trussville is very involved with that story. Jeff has been conducting some of those same interviews, but he's been doing it with legislators throughout the state of Alabama, so he's going to kind of bring us up to date on the story between the legislature and the AHSAA. Big things are cooking there, Mayor. And,
I know.
I asked you to sit in on that interview. A lot of people don't know. You're an old ball player.
Yeah. Did a little officiating.
You've thrown some famous people out of ball games. But I wanted you to sit in on this because you have been a part of athletics.
Well, I'm very interested in it, too.
It's a big story.
It's a great story.
Yep. So we'll be back after this break, and Jeff will join us at about 12:20, and we'll get an update from a statewide perspective. I'm Scott Butcher, you stay with us.
Have you been to Discount Warehouse lately? New electronics, brand name makeup, and bedding arrive daily. Follow their Facebook page to find out about special sales on clothing, tools, and fireworks. Discount Warehouse, where you will never pay.
Ah, now this is the life. Who's a good boy? Well, to tell you the truth, it's my humans. They're the ones who made sure to buy me a home with natural gas. The furnace warms like no other. The fire turns on instantly. Whoa. And I'm happier than a beagle in a bacon factory. Oh, that's the spot. And with the money we save on our energy bill, well, I got big plans for that. Visit my website and learn why natural gas is a home's best friend.
Welcome back. I'm here with Mayor Buddy Choat, who's sitting in for Brandon today, and we're going to be joined, Mayor, in just a little bit by Jeff Poore. Jeff is the editor-in-chief of 1819 News. He's also has the Jeff Poore radio show. And one of the things that we've been talking about here at the Tribune, in fact, the Tribune broke the story, Jacob Gurley was the first one to report, that the AHSAA had changed their eligibility rules, and kids who took Choose Act money were ineligible for a year, suspended for a year. The Choose Act actually says the AHSAA cannot use the Choose Act money for eligibility requirements. So obviously, I think it was the governor and the Speaker of the House filed an injunction against the AHSAA when they found out they were breaking the law. The judge saw it the same way and issued a temporary reversal of that. So those kids were now legal to play. I don't know if you followed up on this or heard the follow-up, but now we are being told the AHSAA said to those schools, the injunction is down, the court says you can play that kid. But we're telling you it's going to be a full hearing in a couple of weeks, and if we win and that injunction's reversed, you will forfeit the games where you played those kids. So needless to say, the Alabama legislature has gone from upset to heads exploding. That's going to be a major issue.
Listen, that's a tough one there. It's kind of like what we talk about all the time. We really want to make it what's best for the kids at the end of the day, and so I think the misunderstanding, whatever the misunderstanding there was, should and could have been worked out long before this. If it clearly states that, which you said it does, that could have been discussed. But to come back and threaten somebody now that the judge has made his ruling, but then you're going to have to forfeit. It's not about the forfeiting and the winning. I mean, it's about the kids and making the thing right. So I don't know what's going to happen. I hate to see it make the news like that because it puts a negative impact. I'm a big supporter of the Alabama High School Association as far as what they do. They've been a great association with some great leaders over the years. This thing
for decades.
This thing just kind of got sidetracked a little bit.
Well, everybody remembers the Bubba Scott years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he ran it, and I don't think there was ever any question in most people's mind that he did put the kids first and what they tried to do. But over the last decade, we've seen a heavy-handedness out of that organization that's a little disturbing.
Well, and some of the things they're facing now, obviously, Bubba didn't have to face back in the day. The legality of some things, the lawsuit things, the parenting and everything. So it's probably a much more challenging job nowadays to be part of. But I know a lot of people that are involved with that association that are good people, solid citizens, former coaches, great leaders. I'm certainly hoping they're going to work this thing out. Well,
I think they will, but I think at this moment the legislature has more of a complete retooling in mind.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how that plays out. We're killing a little bit of time. It's going to be a couple of minutes yet before Jeff Poore joins us. Before we get to Jeff, we're going to jump briefly into a little high school football.
Yeah.
Our neighbors across Deerfoot took down the number one 7A team in the state, third year in a row, last Thursday night. That team's going to show up in Trussville tomorrow night. I promised Coach Floyd, or I told Coach Floyd, I'm trying my best not to do a touchdown dance with his team, but it's getting hard to hide the fact that I really, really like this Hewitt Trussville team.
I tell you, Scott, it's been amazing to watch the progress they've made since the beginning of the season. I like our chances. I think our kids are playing as one right now. The injury bug hit us early. Wasn't sure what was going to happen there, but folks have stepped up, as they say, next man up, so to speak. And those that have come in have done a great job. And I think Coach Floyd and his staff deserve a lot of credit for that. Keeping that team solid, keeping it focused. Got a big challenge tomorrow night with Thompson.
They do.
No doubt about it.
Coach Talisman's defense may be playing some of the best ball left, and I felt that way about them last year, but this may be even a little better addition. We also got a Floyd on each side of the ball.
Right.
And I don't care what anybody says or thinks. In my opinion, and in my observation, That's like having an extension of your coach on the field at all times. That can't possibly hurt.
No, it certainly isn't going to hurt. That's
No.
for sure. And but I do think tomorrow night it's going to be our biggest challenge.
It is.
Thompson has athletes. They have great coaches.
They absolutely do.
They have history. But I'm all in on the Huskies tomorrow night. I feel pretty good about our chances.
Yeah, let's make no bones about it. Thompson is a great program. They didn't get where they are and don't have the reputation they've got by being average. They're well above average. They're a rock solid program. But you know what? If you want to be there, that's how you got to go through.
Yeah, and I think our kids know that every year. You know, we've kind of gotten to the point to where if you're going to move on, used to be Hoover.
Right.
Used to have to go through Hoover. Now you got to go through not only Hoover and Vestavia and the rest of it, but you got to get through Thompson before you get anywhere. So this will be the first of what I think could probably be the first of at least 2 matches.
I agree with you. I've got no advice for Coach Floyd. Just do your thing, because whatever you and you guys are doing,
I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
I do have some advice for fans. Arrive early. Get there early. It's going to be a mess in traffic. Do we have Jeff online? Okay, now I need to join. I'm sorry, y'all. It's rookie day here at the Tribune. See if we can get
Hurry home, Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon.
We miss you, Brandon. All right, I think I got the link here. Thought I had the link. It's making a move. Let's see. Okay, I think we're there. All right, Jeff, did you hear us?
Got you, man.
There he is. Okay. So Jeff Hoare, do I need to turn this down, Ron? I'm echoing. I'm okay. Okay. We've got Jeff Hoare joins us now from 1819 News and the Jeff Hoare Radio Show. Jeff is a good friend. We have both been reporting a lot on this AHSAA story, how it sets up with the Alabama legislature. Whereas we've been talking to legislators more locally, Danny Garrett, Representative Garrett here in the Tribune area, Senator Shay Shelnut. Jeff's been in touch with legislators throughout the state about this issue. And Jeff, really wanted you to just kind of step in and bring us up to date on what you're hearing from a statewide basis on the AHSAA situation.
Yeah, I think a lot of lawmakers are kind of, maybe even offended in some ways that the AHSAA would just ignore the law. There were other remedies and other things they could have done. They could have lobbied during the Choose Act deliberations and chose not to. But for whatever reason, they chose this course of action where we're just going to ignore the law. We're not going to adhere to this, your silly laws. And I there's going to be a reaction. And I think probably they got on the governor's wrong side here. It wasn't just the speaker. And I think there will be more serious repercussions. They could have avoided a lot of this.
Yeah, they've turned enemies into the governor, the lieutenant governor, the speaker of the House, any number of legislators. Senator Elliott comes to mind down in South Alabama. They've got the undivided attention of these legislators, Jeff, and then they double down after the injunction comes in and says the kids can play. AHSAA notifies the coaches, yeah, you can play them, but if that gets reversed and we win this case, you're forfeiting.
Yeah. Well, it's not in the spirit of the law at all to say that. It's certainly not in the spirit of the injunction. So, I mean, are they going to make the other branch of government upset with them too by kind of trying to undermine a court ruling? That's what it looks like to me. But here's the thing, Scott. Going into that decision, so they waited to the first week of the football slate to make this announcement, where you're not eligible. You have to sit out a year if you're a Choose Act recipient, and then so they waited till the last minute to do it, which seems a little underhanded as well. But then they. When they went about it, they had some people from the legislature, so from the governor's office, and they had said, well, okay, let's work out an agreement here, and they had presented it as like, okay, well, we're not going to do it this year. Maybe we'll address this in the future. And what happened, Scott? They They met, and then they just stuck to their guns despite saying, hey, maybe we can make some kind of compromise. And they didn't even do that. They said, no, we changed our minds. We are just going to maintain the status quo here, and we are going to double down on what we said previously. So I think, like, there are any other number of remedies. And I would have said this: why didn't the High School Athletic Association, they are so committed to their way of doing things, why didn't they take the state to court? Why didn't they seek out an injunction to the Choose Act instead of just going about it like the law doesn't apply to us?
Well, I think those are good questions, and I think we could speculate on that. Jeff, just so you know, Mayor Buddy Choat from Trussville is here with me today. Mayor Choat, former athlete himself, and was a college official for a long time. But Buddy, what are your thoughts? As you know, we talked about this a little bit briefly, but as you hear what Jeff's reporting, what are you thinking?
Well, I have to agree with Jeff. If it's a law, it's the law. And why they waited until the first game of the season to make this happen, which is unfair. First of all, they must have, and I'm speculating. I'm assuming they knew this in the summer.
Yeah.
When the workout started out, these kids come back, they're going to play. So now you're going to penalize not only the kid, but the schools who have invested time and planning with these kids. And now they've been reinstated, which the season had already begun. And now they're being threatened with forfeits. So I don't think forfeiting and keeping kids from playing is in the spirit of the law or whatever. So I agree with Jeff. It just seemed a little unusual. I don't know all the circumstances, but I hate it. As I mentioned you, Scott, I know there's a lot of smart, great, hardworking people in the Alabama High School Athletic Association. This one kind of makes me scratch my head a little bit.
Yeah. You know, Jeff, one of the things, I think you and I have touched on this in a couple of interviews, but we haven't said a whole lot about it here at the Tribune. The kids in question are 7th and 8th graders.
Right.
That's who they're suggesting would give a competitive edge if they're allowed to play this year. I mean, if I'm the parent of one of those middle school kids that loses an entire year because we followed the state law, I think might be talking to an attorney right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Have we heard any of that? Are there going to be civil suits?
Well, I know they've added plaintiffs to the Ivy Ledbetter lawsuit that I think fall into that category. So it remains to be seen. But I mean, like, if you're a 7th or 8th grader and that's your mom and dad, are they going to go out at some expense and hire an attorney to take on the High School Athletic Association? I don't know. I mean, it's not, not inexpensive to do that. So they'd probably not, but I would think somebody would have to at least explore that as an option.
I think we've probably examined the problem exhaustively. Let's talk a little bit, Jeff, about what is a solution, a possible solution. What are legislators alluding to with you in terms? I don't think they're going to let this go through the next session without being dealt with. How's it going to look coming out the other end?
Well, I've had a conversation with Speaker Ledbetter. I was in Huntsville a couple of weeks ago. We kind of talked about it, and I mean, there is an effort that's growing, that's gaining steam just to demolish it and start all over. But the problem they run into, he was explaining, well, if you just put this under the Department of Education, what do you do with private schools? You can't tell the private schools what to do under this sort of regime. That's a big problem, and that's some of it. There, the way funding would have to be applied. There's an issue with it there. So I don't know. There's the perfect solution has come along yet, but they can put some guardrails in place. But who's to say the AHSAA just won't ignore those if that's the case here? But they made a lot of enemies. And it sort of is. It's such a weird mentality because think about it. Like, this is an organization that in some ways you would want with young people involved that in a position of authority to be kind of a role model institution. And I don't think it's reflects very well on them to just say, well, we're just going to ignore the law. Is that what we're teaching our young people now? Is that, and so, I mean, this is all kind of resonating with the Alabama legislature, and it's becoming an issue. Well, this is what's probably the most important part of it. Enough people are out there that are fed up with it, that will vote, that will, and they will get in their lawmakers' ears who are up for a re-election next year and say, hey, I want you to do something about this. It becomes a campaign issue, and I don't see how they beat that.
Yeah, if I'm a legislator, I'd like to have that dealt with before the election cycle starts. Primarily because when you're talking about your kids, that's about as emotional as you get. No kid. Yeah. Jeff, look, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you for the update. You're always great to show up anytime I need you, and I appreciate that a lot, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
We will.
I think he's already got that flipped over. I need to kill my phone. We're going to take a short break again. When we come back, buddy, we're going to talk a little bit about the project on Trussville Utilities on Highway 11, the construction project. I talked to Mike Strength, got a little updated timeline, and want to kind of get your thoughts and input on that.
Be glad to. Thank you.
You stay with us, and we'll be right back after this break. Okay, but
if you don't have a will,
Ron's
trust, or some kind of statement,
so we'll give him a second to do that. I've thrown so many monkey wrenches at everybody today.
You talking about multitasking? That guy over there, we got him jumping through hoops right now.
He's got 8 balls in the air right now. But he's doing pretty good.
Doing a great job.
He's ready to go to the break, but we'll be back again. We're going to catch you up on the construction on Highway 11 at Trussville Utilities and the old City Hall.
Sure.
Very exciting stuff happening there. You stay with us.
Yep.
if you don't have a will, trust, or some kind of estate plan, you're leaving your loved ones with a lot of headaches. Probate fees and tax issues bring stress to your family while they grieve your loss. Cahaba Law Group is here to protect them and give you reassurance that your hard-earned money and assets are not lost to bureaucratic mayhem. They can help you create the ideal estate plan. If you're currently in probate, Cahaba Law Group can help assist you there too. Plus, they can handle more than just probate. They can serve you in just about any legal matter. Begin now by scheduling a consultation at cahabalaw.net.
I'm Drew Lawley, General Manager at Courtesy Buick GMC. Come see us at Courtesy, where we have over 300 vehicles to choose from, including GMCs, Buicks, and certified pre-owned vehicles. Come see us at Courtesy or check us out at courtesybirmingham.com. Proud supporter of our area high school teams.
Welcome back. I'm Scott Buttram, joined today by Mayor Buddy Choat. We've covered some city stuff, and we just had an interview with Jeff Poore about the AHSAA stuff, and I should have mentioned during the interview, of course, I did mention Jeff's the editor-in-chief for 1819 News, also has the Jeff Poore radio show, but the Jeff Poore column, Jeff Poore's column now runs on Alabama politics, runs in the Tribune every single week. Really excited to have that. And Jacob is actually actively working to get some more political voices from other sides of the aisle in the Tribune. We're trying to build as much balance as we can. So excited to add Jeff and excited about the new folks that are coming.
Yeah, I can appreciate that because he's got a lot of insight that we don't have. But to share that with everybody, I think is very important.
Well, I mean, if you just look at his guest list on the radio show on a daily basis, you realize he really does keep a finger on the pulse of Alabama politics.
Great.
And folks will talk to him that may not talk to just anybody. So that's a positive.
We all have a few of those.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And the Tribune is grateful anytime we form a relationship like that with folks, because that's really what you want. But Mayor, we wanted to close the show talking about we reported on this several weeks ago, but we got a major thing going on Highway 11, Main Street, right there in the heart of town. If you've driven down, you have seen the actually demolition going on right now out on the Trussville Utilities property. Ron went out and got some great drone footage. We had Mike Strength on to kind of explain it, but why don't you kind of update as we look at some of these demolition pictures, why don't you update our audience on what exactly is going down there?
Yeah, well, for those of you that don't know the project, it involves the utilities and the city working together on this. The greenways is also included in this, so what you see there, the pictures that Ron got are actual now where we took down the old police training building next door to City Hall, and between us and the utilities. That'll be the future site for a new City Hall when it's built, somewhere down the future. But also the renovation of the existing utilities board, all that's going to change, as well as the facing lift that they're doing on the existing City Hall now. It's all going to blend in with a new look for downtown, with the stone and the colors, schemes and everything. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
I think Ron is actually probably looking for the artist renderings now. He's got some of those, so we'll share those with you as well. As much as I hate to lose those historic blue metal roofs,
yeah, it'll be a sad day.
It will bring it up to date just a little bit.
Just a tad, we hope.
It's going to look more like what downtown looks like today. And there, Ron's just pulled up the greenway. The big green space in the middle, Mayor, that will be a future City Hall spot.
That's
correct.
We've got the City Hall plan sitting in my office right now. They'll probably be tweaked a little bit one day, but a beautiful plan to build a new City Hall in downtown as part of a campus look right there. To where we separate the utilities from City Hall, and then we have obviously what we consider our public safety building, which is where our courts and magistrates, police and fire, our jail is there. So it'll be a great addition to downtown Trussville.
The former City Hall, that is primarily just courts and jail at this point, isn't it?
It is. Of course, it houses the fire department and some of the police men there, as well as our jail. But really, courts, the courtrooms had a renovation. Judge Chamley is thrilled.
We need to get in there and do something about that renovation.
It is a beautiful look, and of course it's what it needed to be. Carl has deserved that for a long time.
He has.
Great job.
I mean, we've got a great municipal court. We've had a great judge for years, but he's always just kind of held court in the council chambers.
Well, he's kind of managed what he was given. That's the way we look at it. Look at those are great pictures there that Ron's got. I just think the whole look is going to fit downtown. It's kind of the new look for downtown Trussville. Same architect, Dave Reese, Turter Batson, who's done our other projects downtown. Dave and his staff do a great job. Mike Strength has been terrific. He and his board have worked hard together on this. The city is very appreciative of what they're doing, and hopefully when time is right, the city will be able to put a new City Hall in there that will complement all that hard work.
Well, the day will come, and I know the city's trying to be frugal right now and get itself on solid financial footing, which we talk about that in the video. It's actually done that. But you need time to settle, and the new administration needs time to prioritize what they want to do. Several of Ron's shots, including that last one, I loved it, shows the Greenway extension.
Yes.
It will come under Highway 11.
Under the bridge on Highway 11, where the 4-lane ends right there. It'll actually connect to the existing Greenway, come under, and come down in front of the utilities and continue on down. Of course, the plans are to continue that all the way down through Pinch Gut behind the entertainment district and so forth. So that's the first phase of that, and it's really going to enhance those that want to enjoy the greenways.
I don't want to, Ron, hold that picture just a second. Mayor, far right end. I don't want to put you in a bad position, but there was some talk during the Trussville forums, the political forums. A lot of people would like to see South Chalkville, Roper area pulled more into the city. I see the Greenway taking a turn. Is that going under Highway 11 there?
No, it'll go across Highway 11.
Okay, that's under Highway 11.
That's correct.
On that end. So if we come all the way over the left, are we going to cross the street and get into the entertainment district, or is that still going to be a future phase?
Actually, from what I understand now, it will go across the street and behind the entertainment district.
Okay. So it'll cross at the corner and then come back up and behind and run along Pinch Gut.
There's not enough room where Henrietta's is right now.
I see.
But there is room behind the existing stage and all that. We could connect it and it may be going to connect on the parking lot
Might
side.
have to connect by a sidewalk.
Yeah,
in other words,
and
to get
that's
back on
it will be. Yeah. And but yeah, it won't go under the bridge. There's just no need to go under that way since we got to connect it where we are.
So this ultimately could go down as far as Homestead Village?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, not plans yet, and I'm sure Ben and his administration will be looking at it, but jumping the train tracks and maybe pulling some of South Chalkville in at some, because we've got another development
we got a development
there, so
there's a potential development there.
People are going to have reasons to go.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason for doing that is,
right.
There is a need over there, and we got a great space there. I've seen the signs that are on the side of the road over there, what it could be, and I just think the future is great for not only downtown, but all those on the south side as well.
It wouldn't be that difficult to do a pedestrian bridge over Pinch Gut, but it gets kind of complicated when it needs to go over railroad tracks.
Correct.
So have y'all even looked at
We
that
discussed
or asked
it.
questions?
Yeah, part of the discussion with the developer on that is somehow find a way to connect both the entertainment district with that property on the south side of the. We have had conversation with the railroad. There are regulations that we'll have to meet.
Oh, sure.
It'll be a pedestrian only, no golf carts and
right.
vehicles and things. But it'd be a great way to connect both of those and give people the options to do both at one night if they want to. So.
And it can be cheap, but it also wouldn't be nearly as expensive as a vehicle bridge.
Correct. And that I'm not sure that we even want a vehicle bridge coming over where it would come into the entertainment district and or their side as well.
We've got a bridge there.
Yeah, we got a bridge.
Just got to wait on the train occasionally.
Yeah, we just
but
need foot traffic.
People could walk.
Yeah, and there'll be plenty of parking over there on the Marvin side, the old Marvin. There'll be plenty of parking there, and as that develops, there'll be more parking and with other opportunities. So I think pedestrian is really on the way to go.
I got you.
Yeah.
Wanted to bring you up to date. You and I talked about this. I talked to Mike Strink this morning, just kind of looking for a timeline on the Trussville Utilities property. Trussville, for those who might not know, Trussville Gas and Water is actually operating outside of that building now while the renovations take place.
They're on Green Drive. Yeah.
They're on Green Drive, which is their operations facility.
Correct.
Mike expects administration to be back in their building by the end of March. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, a lot of factors there. Weather's been great. As much as I hate a drought, it's allowed them to get a lot done. So Mike's expecting his group to be back in around the end of March, expecting City Hall and the landscaping, which will be the Greenway, especially the landscaping around the Greenway, closer to the end of June. So it's really not that far away.
Less than a year away.
Yeah, this will be open. The Greenway will have had a major extension, and man, another
exciting.
Yeah, that I urge y'all to watch the interview, because we talked about the fact that y'all came in really with two goals, downtown being number one, to build a downtown. Number two was to get Civitan Veterans Park back to the people of Trussville, and look what both things have led to.
Both of them have been great additions. The Greenways, I'm amazed at the number of people that, and they're not just all Trussville people, by the way.
That's right.
But the number of people that use it, I drive by it all the time. That parking area in front of the monuments and so forth is full. Library, they hop on up. It's great. Now they're going to be able to get on another area and walk downtown.
And we didn't even mention additional parking.
Absolutely.
Trussville Gas and Water's putting in some parking places for our walkers.
They are.
And the question that we know, we've got approximately 26% of our city asking right now, how much is this going to cost the city to do all this?
Not a whole lot now.
A whole lot. Trussville Gas and Water is picking up the tab. Mike,
they're doing the work on
I think that was the first question I asked Mike Strink, because obviously people are going to ask that, and they should ask. Your rates, your gas and water rates are not going to go up because of this project. Trussville Gas and Water has been saving up for this for years because they wanted to do this for the city. They do a lot of things for the city that people don't even know about. But your taxes aren't going up, your water rates aren't going up, your gas rates aren't going up. What is happening here is utilities that you, as the people of Trussville, own and the city owns, are investing in you.
Well,
that's what's going on.
It's kind of like we do at City Hall. We want to do what's best for Trussville. I think that's what Mike and his board and the utilities have done, is invest in the city, but also support the city, just like this project here. And so we could not be where we are today without Trussville Gas and Water support.
No, they've been a great asset. And you remember a few years ago, one of our elections, they were kind of an issue.
Sure.
Did somebody want to sell off sell them off as an asset. And, you know, I don't know that we ever really got to the bottom of it, but it has happened in other places.
Yeah.
And people got very on edge here in Trussville, because I think most people in Trussville realize that is a special asset that we've got.
Well, and our utilities board, our utilities operations is the envy of a lot of cities around the state and the Southeast, because we've been to conferences where Mike and his operational folks have just been talked about publicly outside the city of
They
Trussville.
are the example held up,
I think so,
across the state of Alabama.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
And I don't know, we've always managed to just have an excellent board running Trussville Utilities over all these years.
Great
That's
board.
been a rock solid group of people.
It has, and I tell people all the time that board, the city appoints a board, but they run that thing like they want to. And the city has been fortunate enough to have good people to put on that board. But Mike and those folks over there have done a great job of managing what they want to do, and everybody has bought into their goal, I guess, of what they want to
And
be.
the end result is we've got a little better gas rates than most of Alabama, and we got
Better water rates.
a little better water rates than the rest of Alabama, and we got some of the cleanest water in the state of Alabama.
Absolutely.
So it's been a blessing. Hey, thanks for coming in. And,
Hey, thank you.
You know, I called you. Just so y'all know, he thought he was coming for a short interview this morning. When he walked in, I said, "You're actually going to co-host the show with me." So it worked out well. These are all issues that you were aware of and interested in.
Glad to do it, and I hope Brandon's enjoying all that sushi she's eating over there.
I do too.
She's one step ahead of me.
She deserves a break, and I know she and Ryan are having a great time.
I hope they are.
And of course, the kids are here having a great time
I
without
know the
their
public
parents.
will be glad to get her back too.
Oh yeah, anytime they have
And
to
Ron.
suffer through me.
And Ron, he'll be glad to get her back.
Ron doesn't like surprises, and he doesn't get as many when Brandon's here. It works out better that way.
She's the pro.
She is.
She's the pro.
She's the pro, and our audience knows that. But,
Absolutely.
Hey, dude, thank you first for coming in and helping with this. But honestly, thank you for the last 9 years.
I appreciate it.
You have left and are leaving this city far better than you found it. And
Hope
given the progress we had made in the previous 10 to 20 years, that's saying something.
Yeah.
But you, Alan Taylor, Perry Cook, special appreciation to all three of you. As I said, a lot of people were part of that 9 years ago.
A lot of people.
But you three stuck with it.
Yeah.
Because everything didn't get cleaned up that first term. There was a lot of work.
There were some challenges.
There
but
was.
hey, thank you to all of them. Everybody's been great, and I certainly appreciate it, Scott.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Mayor. Hope you do get a chance to see the interview. I think you'll find it very interesting. Again, if you're newer to Trussville, it may be even more interesting to hear a little of the recent history. We'll be back next Thursday with Tribune Unscripted. Brandon will be here. The show will be better. Thank you for joining us today.
With over 15 years of experience in the Birmingham market and surrounding areas, we have had the privilege of seeing this city grow and change.
I've lived in Birmingham since 1975 and raised my family here. I love helping great families find their next home so they can grow and support our community.
My husband and I have been in Trussville since 2010, and I'm raising 2 kids who love making the Huskies proud.
We have loved exploring the thriving communities around Birmingham, like Trussville, Vestavia, Leeds, Homewood, and Hoover.
Whether you're relocating to Birmingham, looking to downsize, get more space for your growing family, or invest in property, we know the ins and outs of each neighborhood.
When it comes to selling, our experience means we know exactly how to market your home to get it seen by the right buyers. From professional staging to top-notch photography, we help make sure your property stands out and gets the attention that it deserves.
We've built relationships with top local contractors, lenders, and inspectors so we can connect you with the best in the business when you're ready to buy or sell.